Congressman Mike Rogers is chairman of the House Intelligence Committee and joins me now from the Capitol. Thank you so much, Congressman, for being with us. Well, first of all,
thanks for having me.
Arming the Syrian rebels. You have said don't arm the rebels. We are hearing a lot of criticism of that. John McCain, you know, is really out there. Mitt Romney blaming the president for weakness, saying he's not showing any leadership, saying we have to pour resources into the opposition, not specifically arms, but he doesn't say exactly what we should do. Why are you so strongly against arming the rebels?
Well, I get to see all the intelligence every day. That's what I do as the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. And I'll tell you, there is no Syrian resistance in total. There are pockets of resistance. There are some emerging groups. We just don't have a good handle on who they are. We know that al-Qaeda in Iraq is operating there and has a sizable presence there and have been successful in some of their efforts to destabilize the regime there. And so we just don't know. We're not sure. So I think that that ought to be very, 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 very carefully considered, but not till later. We have a lot more information to learn about who these folks are, and there's a whole bunch of things, Andrea, that we can do before that can help destabilize that regime and bring about change, and we can do it with our Arab League partners who are eager to do it, who are eager to get involved, and who are eager to put people in the country to help destabilize that regime. I think all of that's important.
Can we do that as long as Russia is still roadblocking effective UN action? What can we do outside of the UN?
Well, again, with the Arab League, there is a lot that we can do, and it's unfortunate that Russia has chosen to be on the side of a regime that slaughters women and children. I think that public pressure hopefully will change their minds about that. But short of that, there are lots of great things that we can do when it comes to clandestine efforts with our Arab League partners who are eager, again, to be involved in this. That's the very unusual thing about Syria, is that the Arab League is so forward-leaning when it comes to getting Assad out of control and out of power. We need to engage our Arab League in a way that allows us to make them better and more effective in trying to upend that regime.
Are these military steps? You talk about covert steps, and obviously you're not going to be specific, but are we talking about providing weapons and other communications gear and other help to the Arab League to help support the opposition? And that still gets to the question of who are the opposition, and you don't want to get weaponry into the hands of al-Qaeda and some of these other extremist groups.
Right. And again, I don't support arming the opposition, but there are things that we can do. And here's the important thing. People say, what is in our national security interests? One, it's a state sponsor of terror for Iran, and we know that they've used a pipeline to get fighters into Iraq to kill U.S. soldiers. We know that. That's been happening for years. But also they have a whole stockpile of chemical weapons and other weapon systems that make Libya look tame by comparison, that is in our national interest to make sure they are secure. And we can do that by a more rational transition of the Assad government with the Arab League's help. So those are kinds of places that we should make sure that we can secure and make sure those weapon systems don't go anywhere if the regime falls or short of the regime falling. Those are the kinds of things and the value added that the United States can bring. We can make the Arab League folks much more effective in what they're trying to do through training and cooperation in a way that I think could bring about regime change. But you have to do it. You have to stop talking about it. You have to stop wringing your hands. You have to actually do it and put it into gear and get moving. Otherwise, Assad is just going to continue to dig in and do the things like he's doing today, which is shelling Hula.
Just briefly, Congressman, is the president doing enough? How would you rate what they're doing so far?
Listen, I've had good conversations with the National Security Council folks. I just think they're too slow on this, and that this is something that needed to happen months and months ago. And I think that frustration that you hear from John McCain, who's just a great national security expert, is, hey, arm the rebels, let's get something going. And that's that frustration coming out. This is a better option with our Arab League partners. They're just slow, and they haven't engaged in this and taken it to the degree of seriousness, I think, folks like me and others would like to see happen. Again, it's destabilizing to Iran to have this happen and to have Assad go away. Right. Pressure on the Russians can only help with their, I argue, irrational position now on the Assad regime. It certainly looks self-serving to me. And the fact that you have the Arab League who is so willing to cooperate. There's lots of great solutions here, but we have to engage in them and we have to stop wringing our hands about it.
We have to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Chairman
Andrew.
Mike Rogers, Intelligence Chairman.